Hey there, Chad here. Thanks for joining me. This is Everyone But Andy in Rising Star 2, and we just finished our West Coast tour. We're kind of heading back across the country. I thought we'd kind of do a manual drive and maybe try to catch a city or two where there might be a show happening in the middle of the week. Doesn't happen too often, but it can happen. It's not happening here in Cheyenne, though. I've been to Cheyenne, Wyoming. I was pretty young. It was a fun trip. We were only there for 2 days. Had to do with my dad's job, but I do remember the signs that were up that said missile silos this way. I'll never forget that. That was really, really kind of creepy. All right. And I wanted to say, well, we enjoyed our continental breakfast there at Amy's Motel, and we're going to head out of town. I was just taking a cruise around the block there, but let's go to Denver. Maybe we can find something in Denver. We'll get there today. Any shows? Let's see. Nope, not until Friday. That's pretty typical. I think the way the game works is it will start to give you midweek shows after you've been in a place for a while, or maybe it has to do with your reputation in the area. I'm not 100% sure. It feels like that there is a point where you start seeing more and more weeknight shows. You never see Sundays. That is completely true. But you do see more and more weeknight shows, and I'm guessing there's something to do with the algorithm on how he's got that set up to work, and that's great. It's neat that there's little hidden things in there that we don't necessarily know exactly how they work. We can play around them, but not map them out exactly, and I'm okay with that. I wouldn't mind looking for some equipment. As always, I love looking for strings. None here. Worth grabbing. These 9900s, though. I have 11 of them. I don't need them. So let's take a look at some bass guitars. Wow, this is very much a discount place, isn't it? Not going to be a whole lot here for us. At least not for the bass player. Well, look at that. For writing songs, and it's at 100%. We're going to pick that up. Let's go to Kiwi. Does she see anything she likes? Kiwi always sees things she likes, particularly if they have keys on them. All right, not seeing anything right now, though. And, okay, nothing for Kiwi. Topher, wouldn't it be hilarious if Denver, Colorado, of all places, is the one place I can get drumsticks that he really likes? And look at that. We actually are finding some that are a step up for performing. I haven't seen those, I don't think, so we're going to buy 20 of them. Yeah, why not? Drum heads? Nope, nothing to write home about. Cymbals. What cymbals does he have right now? They're starting to wear down. They are 6. They're the Zildjian A Series Custom. They are these cymbals. Okay. Well, now we know. Any processing he could do. Some stage presence help. Okay. Ooh, that I think we have to take. We're taking a +4. Right below it would have been a +5. That would have been horrible. And then finally, for Angel, we didn't look at drum sets for him, did we? He'll get by. Okay. No strings. Oh, they have a couple of guitars. They're all relatively low end, though. Not going to find anything here for her. Maybe in the effects area. That's actually a pretty nice one. 1 point in writing music. Might want to wait till we get somewhere else, see if we can find anything a little better than that. But there we have it. Okay, well, not a whole lot else to do here in Denver today because, well, it's the middle of the week. We've talked about this. So let's go ahead and, why don't we drive to Kansas City? Let's drive to Wichita. Wichita by morning. Okay. Shows. That's what I was trying to think of. I was like, what was I going to go look for? Shows. They're all Friday. Yep. They're all Friday. We'll go to Kansas City and see if we see anything there before the end of the week. But let's see what a house here in Wichita runs. Wichita is a smallish township here. It's 4x4, a little bit of everything, not a whole lot of anything. That's our house, 133,000. That's about what we paid for ours, or what we could sell it for. So, okay, now we know. Let's head to Casey. We'll get there today. If there happens to be a midweek show, we'll get to see it. Nope, everything's Friday. Friday. We do have some reputation here. That's good. But we're just going to go home at this point, I think. It's been a long tour. So we'll get there tomorrow. And really good chance, if I take a look, we'll see that there's stuff today. There it is, the duck room. Yeah, maybe if we go to Chicago, we might see a little bit of that as well. But it looks like we have almost maxed out our reputation here. So good to know. But let's go home. Let's practice some songs and maybe talk to our manager. Trying to decide if I want to go ahead and just like immediately do an East Coast gig, a tour. I think that maybe isn't the worst way to go. It'll be April. It'll kill off another couple of weeks for us in the lull where we can't release any albums. So it's something to consider. Let's practice everything once. Oh, we have plenty of songs to work on too, don't we? So some of these have fallen way off. Okay. Well, we can see what we were playing, that's for sure. Let's hit everything once. You know what? I should have talked to the manager first. That's what I should have done. Let's get that taken care of. We're going to go ahead and book an East Coast tour. And that'll work. I kind of like this idea of maybe playing Sundays, but not Fridays or Saturdays, and just kind of taking in some other performances then. Let's try that. Let's see if that does anything interesting for us. Probably won't, but you never know. Where could we start? I do want to be a little bit careful. So tradition and progress, serious versus carefree, might want to avoid Georgia, although we have a few serious songs, I think. Coming of age is good. Vitality versus, I don't remember what the other one is. The opposite of that, is it depression? I'm not sure I remember right now. Travel, well, we very much will want to avoid Virginia right now because hometown pride is our kind of where a lot of our songs are. Tradition, spontaneity is good. Technology, we're okay with technology. Deliberation would be the opposite of carefree. No. Deliberation is the opposite of spontaneity. Yeah, that's right. We have a lot of climate change. I'm not really seeing anywhere where that's a big deal. Definitely not Texas. So why don't we target the southeast? I think that maybe makes some sense. Let's start in Atlanta. Actually, let's start in Charlotte, if they'll let us. And then we're going to stick with those southeastern states. So that would be Florida and Georgia. Where'd they go? There's Georgia. Where'd Florida go? There's Florida. We want North Carolina. Come on. I know you're here somewhere. There we go. South Carolina. I guess we could maybe touch on Tennessee if we really, really wanted to. Let's go with that. And why don't we go ahead and make it an extra week since we're not playing weekends? So it'd be up to 15. Yeah, I think that works. And then do we want a headline? We probably could at this point. Let's see what our options are. Few bands that we're good with that we could be the headliner for. I'm thinking we'll probably want to stick with, let's ride somebody else's tour. I kind of like how when you select one of these, who do we want to select? Man, there's a real pop. There's a 28. Name Against the Reaction. Chief Thoughts out of McAllen, Texas. So if you do this, you get this down here, is releasing a new CD on March 21st and is ready to tour in support of it. Awesome. So we'd be jumping into their tour for their new CD. I'm kind of okay with that. Let's give this one a try. Why not? Might not work out, but maybe it will. And we're back to practicing songs. We still have some work to do on many songs. I think we should go ahead and get these other ones up to speed. So let's practice 9 songs and then we'll work on these. And it looks like he was able to get us scheduled a little bit. Maybe we go and see if we can find something here locally to play, like maybe at Barbara's Watering Hole or the Humble Head. Let's go there tonight. There we go. Maybe we can play something next week there.
Come on in, y'all. I'd rather see y'all up there.
I'm sure of it. We could be opening for somebody. Maybe we hold off on that. We'll try maybe somewhere else. But for tonight, we certainly can sit in on the show. Okay. New song ideas all around. That's always good. And we got a little bit of reputation there. We'll take it. Gonna head home, practice. Didn't do any merging, did I? Should go ahead and do that real quick. So gonna merge up some ideas and then practice. Gotta remember what mode I have my mouse in. There we go. Lots and lots of 6s sitting down here. Okay, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to do that. .28s. So we can do 10s. We have lots of 3s though. I'm going to grab that 40 though. I think I'm going to hold on to that. And some 1s and some 6s. And now we're down to, we can do a couple of 3s. Here we go. And we can do some 1s. That's going to do it for us today. All right, there we go. Not writing a song, we're going to practice. Let's go ahead and practice 3 of them all at once. We'll do that. Actually, I probably want to do it this way. Oh, we still have these 2 to bring up some too. Awesome. Well, you know what? We're only going to do 2 of those then. I don't know that we'll get enough points. 15, we should get 15 points out of that, come to think of it. So that should be fine. We'll do that. All right. Album fell off a little bit. Yeah, we kind of expected that would happen. Hey, look at that. He's giving us a call. He's got it done for us. Well, let's go see what that looks like. Okay, so we got these up to 100%. We don't have these up to 100%. Let's go ahead and grab that one and keep working. Oh, so the tour. Yeah, let's take a look at the tour he's got us on. We do start in Charlotte. That's great. South Carolina, Georgia. Wow, we're filled up. Is that 14? I think that's 14 gigs. Awesome. Lots in Florida. Okay, well, what do we have going on in Florida? We need to check on that. Not that it'll necessarily still be tradition when we get there. So tradition and progress, I think, are the opposites. So we should be okay. Serious versus carefree. I meant to include Mississippi. I'm sorry, Alabama. I included Tennessee. I meant to do this one as well with five cities there to visit, six cities to visit. That would have been potentially helpful, but it looks like we're in pretty good shape actually. So no complaints. I do want to see if maybe it's time to adjust some attitudes. Okay. Maybe. So nobody is on Hometown Pride right now. The opposite of that is travel. What was the other one that we were seeing Florida, and that was tradition. Let's see what tradition looks like if we come over here. That's what I wanted to hit. So tradition is going to be the opposite of progress. He's already on progress, so he can't get to tradition. There it is, opposite. I knew it showed us somewhere what the opposites were. There we go. Opposite of tradition is progress. So I don't think we have a ton of progress songs, so we should be fine there. Just wondering, deliberation, urgency, and patience. Yeah, we have a lot of people we'd have to trade around if we do that. So I think we maybe will wait until it's more life-altering. Opposite of wisdom. We have nobody on wisdom. Haven't in a long time either. I think wisdom started out as sour, so kind of avoided it. Maybe we go ahead and move angel in the direction of at least off of wisdom, and then we can move somebody else to wisdom. Vitality, the opposite is, it's got to be depression, right? I don't have anybody on that. We're going to go ahead and take it. Opposite is depression. Okay. Well, good, because that's what I wanted to see. And then we could go ahead and move somebody to wisdom in the meantime. That's what I'm kind of thinking on. I think we have a lot of spontaneity songs, don't we? So maybe we go ahead and move her to wisdom, which is the opposite of coming of age. Was somebody else on coming of age? They were not. So we're in good shape there. Okay. That's what we're going to go with. Liking that. Let's go to a place that we don't have the greatest reputation. Barbara's. No, I just want to go to Barbara's. We'll find it this way. There it is. First try. And let's see if we can book something there this weekend. Probably won't be able to.
When's your next gig?
Hopefully Saturday. Okay, 9 songs, but we can do that one. That one's not a problem at all. Maybe try out some of our new stuff before we hit the road. I do want to see, can we get to Charlotte? We can get to Charlotte overnight, so that's not a problem. Yep, we're in good shape there. Okay, well, there's not going to be anything playing tonight, so we're going to go ahead and go home and practice, because we have songs to practice. There we go. Looking good. We'll do those 3. And we're going to do them one more time. Okay. Not quite ready to hit everything yet. These will be okay in the long run. Let's see if we can get these up. Uh-oh. Okay, so this is actually kind of, I'm not joking about this. The person I have in the second slot is always a troublemaker. This will always be Kiwi, it seems like, in this band collection, but it feels like when I get this event that somebody got in trouble with the law, it's always the person that's in this slot right here. Doesn't matter the band I'm using. That's kind of interesting to me. So do we want to cover the legal costs because we don't want to break up the band. Do you want to pay the legal cost? Yes. We'll pay it out of band funds. She owes us. Okay. We'll go ahead and practice again. We should be able to get these to 100. Yeah, we should. My one concern is if I do this one more time, is everything going to come crashing down? I think we're going to select all today. Get everything up to speed. Even at 80, we could play these and not have the worst outcome ever. And I just realized this one isn't on the road. This one's here locally. So we're absolutely fine there. We're going to head and practice those 2. And everything's at 100% now. So when we go to Barb's here, right now, we can try out all those new songs we just finished writing. See if any of them are going to...
Hey, the band's here.
give us any love. Hi. 15 and 15 reputation. That's what I meant. Okay. So I'm going to clear this and we're going to do all new stuff as much as we can. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think for 9, I've been doing 6, 7, 8, 9 like that. Kind of want to play Leap and Local Legend again though, just to see if we get any different love on it. I think we'll do that. Thought about going and getting a new banner for our East Coast tour. Didn't do it for West Coast. I think we'll be fine. Nope, not loving those first 3 songs at all. We'll see what happens here, but they're not loving these new ones. Hopefully we ended strong with them. Oh boy, yeah, they didn't like them at all. Doesn't look like. 22 shirts sold though. Let's see. Oof. Yep. Nope, not enjoying our new work at all. Spur of the Moment is one that we had. Melting Point is new, so that one's okay, and Reckless Heart is new. But Burning Skies, First Job Blues, Transitions out. You know what? We're not even gonna play around. We basically know, and of course now I can't remember which 3 it was. First Job Blues was one of them. Transitions. I think it was Burning Skies. If I'm wrong, well, I'm wrong if I'm wrong. So that one. That one. Hey, we get a lot of points back though, right? And that one. Done. Not even gonna fret it anymore. Doesn't look like they're gonna work out. Move on. Okay. Back here, we're gonna go ahead and practice one more time just so we don't run into problems on the road. Everything will be good to go. And we're going to have to leave for our gig in North Carolina. So we will do that to start the next episode. We climbed up a few positions again. We will take the trip out to North Carolina as we start the next episode. That'll be where we begin. So thank you for joining me. This is everyone but Andy. And this is Rising Star 2, a game that I love. We're going to go ahead and save it off right there. And I thank you for your time. Hope you'll stick around for the next one. And until then, fair travels.